Hey guys, it's rough out here. I spent the last 20 minutes trying to figure out a place to record because I'm in India right now and it's so loud everywhere. Like my cousin's freaking singing songs downstairs. Like there's cars in the front road. People are just talking everywhere. Like, it's just loud here, okay? But anyways, I finally got my shit together, sat my ass down, and here I am ready to go with another video. But if you do hear random voices in the background, just please ignore it. Love you. Welcome back to my channel, you guys. My name is Gugzzr. I post videos about the subconscious mind and things that we don't usually talk about in society. I do talk about it on this channel. I'm very upfront with it. So if you do like topics like that, please hit the subscribe button. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about why I'm more of a feminine bitch. Let me just explain what the hell that means. I used to be exerting a lot of my masculine energy, just like everyone else in society. I was really hard on myself. I was always trying to hit the gym at 5 a.m. in the morning. I always did that stuff, and keep hearing me out. Don't form any judgment before you listen to the whole video. I was just always trying to like get shit done. I never really prioritized rest. I would just always be productive. I wouldn't really reward myself for any of my achievements and stuff like that. So I kind of was just like living in that sort of society, which still exists, but I was able to take myself out of that bubble. Now, how was I able to take myself out of that bubble, you ask? I think it just kind of happened as I got more spiritual, so I started meditating more. When you sit down and meditate, you become more in tune with your own bodily functions and your own needs, and I noticed that I'm actually a very gentle person. I'm not that hardcore corporate gal that needs to be always micromanaging other people or micromanaging myself and being really hard on myself. I don't want to take life that seriously. I do have that nurturing side to me, and it started coming out more when I was meditating. Another cool fact, when I started meditating, my boyfriend also started meditating a bit more, and we both kind of just had a stronger connection because he was starting to nurture his more natural traits and characteristics, which was more masculine in my opinion, which is kind of more driven, more goal-oriented, more strategic and analytical, whereas when I started to meditate at the same time, I started nurturing more of my feminine traits, which was more caring, more loving, more emotions. And then I think the two coming together created such a great partnership that we kind of just started to connect on another level. I think also him starting his spiritual journey at the same time as me kind of helped me be more feminine at the same time, because now when I'm surrounded by him, I'm able to actually let myself go and feel fully safe in his energy, if that makes sense, because I can only be fully carefree and vibing and creating a good atmosphere and nurturing when I feel safe, because that's the type of world we live in. You can't really do that shit at 12 a.m. on the street, unfortunately. So one of the main things that I've been kind of dealing with, and a lot of women are probably going to relate to this, is the need to be successful in society, because we've been compared to men for such a long time, when I don't even understand why we're getting compared to men. We literally are on this planet for two completely different reasons, in my opinion, biologically at least. If anything, there should be a partnership between man and a woman. I don't know why there's competition in whatever form. If I think about it, there's things that can get a bit more political. For example, the woman doing the same job as a man not getting paid the same, and all that stuff does exist, and like I'm acknowledging it, but I'm not talking about the nitty-gritty. I'm talking about in general. We have our own roles, and I didn't believe this shit until recently, because I was like, I hate cooking, I hate this shit, I want to be like a corporate CEO one day. Like that's the type of person I want to be. And then as I started meditating more, I started to realize that I actually have a very nurturing side to me, and I do like to take care of my loved ones. I just naturally like to do stuff like that, and the way I take care of them is by giving them hugs, by being more emotional, and now it's starting to actually be making food. I actually do realize that it's a love language of my boyfriend's. And actually, I should start saying fiance because I'm engaged now. I think just because I love him, I'm able to put my ego aside. It's a very small price to pay, and also my creativity has been like through the roof. Like I've been doing creative shit all the time, so that's why I'm more open to my nurturing side, because my nurturing side is creative. What am I gonna make in the kitchen today? I can just make whatever the fuck I want. It's kind of fun. It's really fun, and I have this childlike personality to me now that I didn't let myself have before because I was so serious. I don't want to get it twisted. this doesn't mean I'm not ambitious anymore. I talk about this on my other platforms, and there's so many people that are like, you're not ambitious anymore, you lost your ambition, you don't have goals. I got goals, baby. I just don't have to be suffering to reach them. There's a huge difference, and I actually learned this in spirituality. It doesn't matter if you're a male or a female, if you have more feminine energy or more masculine energy, you do not need to suffer in order to reach your goals. That is the first thing that we are taught in school, because our idols and people we look up to, they've suffered. Doing the hard work for something that you want to do should not be suffering. It's hard work, yeah, but it doesn't mean that you need to suffer every day. Do you know what I mean? Something can be very stressful, so you need to be very stressed out, but it's like you can choose not to be stressed out. Yeah, this is extremely hard to do. I am still struggling with it. I literally went through university and my master's. I was fucking stressed the whole time, and it does take time, but the simple awareness of that is very key. And I think my feminine energy is allowing me to understand that you gotta be playful in life. You only have this one life, and you can get done the same things that you would have done with the masculine energy before, but now you have a better and more positive and lighter attitude about it. And why would I not want to go through my life like that? It's so backwards and twisted and really bad for mental health, and I don't know why no one talks about that anymore, but like, you don't need to be suffering to reach your goals, and I think that's part of my feminine energy coming out. Another thing feminine energy has taught me is you can take your time, babe. It doesn't need to happen right away. I actually still have that side of me, especially when it comes to YouTube and social media, that I do want to get things done ASAP. Like, I kind of want to see results right away. I just want to get my videos done right away and posted, but it's like, enjoy the process of it. Things take time, and that's so gentle and pure, and that's truly like, the journey is where you find contentment and happiness and your flow state, and that is the real reward. It's not getting to the end. And as cheesy as that sounds, it's true. Also, I naturally feel more better being more nurturing. I mean, how amazing is it that I can go out in public and I don't really need to use my brain? Yeah, I'm saying it, I'm being very upfront. My boyfriend likes to take care of all the planning, the logistics, going on the train, which trains to catch, which flights to book, whenever it comes to our trips, and I just sit there like a princess, and I absolutely love it, and it's the best thing ever. And I've actually had a talk with him, and I'm like, I feel like I should be doing more, and he doesn't care. Like, he's totally fine with taking over because he enjoys that, because I'm letting him express his masculine energy, which makes him feel like he's protecting me, which makes him feel good, and which also makes me feel good because he sees how I'm glowing underneath that masculine energy. And I think I give back that same, like, a lot of loving energy that he gave me in another form, and it just works out better, if that makes sense. Like, it's really great, and it's amazing because I don't have to change my personality. I grew up thinking that, like, I have to be very like corporate woman, business, sort of no emotions type of gal, but that's not me. Like, maybe in another lifetime I want to be that ambitious, sure, but I don't think that's truly naturally who I am. I'm 24, by the way, so I should give some context, but I never really thought about kids, and I never really wanted kids because I thought they'd be a hindrance in my life, in my career path. I always thought that shit. Now that I am a little bit older, a little bit more exposed to life, and a little bit more connecting with my feminine energy, I'm noticing that I want a kid. Deep down, I always knew I wanted a kid, but for some reason there was no emotional reason to have a kid. It's not a big deal. I'm not saying anything, if you don't want to have a kid, that's cool. Like, I didn't want a kid for a very long time. I'm saying though, when I started doing like the inner work and I let myself become more feminine, and I was like, I want a kid. It's so cute. It's like, I'm gonna nurture a little kid. And don't get me wrong, it's not like I don't know all the other things that go with having a kid. I have a 10-year gap with my younger brother, so I was technically a second mother to him growing up, and I would still choose that all over again. Honestly, tapping into feminine energy is like the best thing ever because that's naturally where I'm at. I'm not telling you that if you're a girl you have to tap into your feminine energy, because you honestly might not be at that phase where you're wanting to even tap into it, and that's totally cool. But good thing this video is gonna be up forever because you can refer back to this whenever the fuck you want. It feels very light to be feminine. Also, I think ego has a lot to do with masculine energy. When you're like expressing your feminine energy, your ego kind of disappears. So my ego would show up in a lot of ways, like, how dare you think that I have to make food when we both work a job? Cool, like, yeah, we both can do it, and maybe one day another person will be able to make food more often because they're less tired depending on what their work needs are, and the other person might be more energetic. Like, you can always switch around the roles. It should be about what each other needs at the moment. It should be that supportive partnership, that relationship. But instead, the way I was saying it, which is where my ego came in, was more like, I have to be completely equal to you. But the reality of it is that our bodies are built differently, our minds are built differently, our emotions are built differently for a reason. God knows what that reason is, but it is. Not everything in this material world is equal, but in the grand scheme of things, holistically, taking everything into account, it is equal. And it can only be equal and felt equal if you let each other feel equal, which is where that respect aspect comes into a relationship. Respecting each other's roles, respecting what each other have to bring to the table. You don't need to have an ego about anything. We're taught that we should be feeling less than men. Therefore, we're trying to make ourselves feel more than them by trying to beat them at their game. But there's no game. We're all in one big fat game. If you think about the whole world, we kind of created this fucking game. But the only thing that hasn't been created is our actual natural energies, which are there for a reason, which I think makes sense. One needs to be more nurturing and emotional, and the other one needs to kind of go hunting and go find food. Like, it makes complete sense. This whole thing works. And applying it to real world scenarios, if you have that understanding with your partner, you will be fine. This whole thing is a game created by humans anyways, so just play the simulation whatever way that you think works best for you. You don't need to prove yourself to anyone. You don't need to overdo yourself just to prove your validation or get validation from external people who you don't even know. No, this is a game that you're born into. Play the human game as best as you can. Understand that it's just a game, because if you think about it, way back in the day, there was no society even. Like, we created this. So, and I'm not complaining at all. I'm stating facts. We just created the society and it runs the way it runs because of the way it was created. So play it the way you want to play it, and remember that your whole life is exactly the way you want your life to go. Everything is up to you. That's all I'm gonna say about this. If you enjoy content like this, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, go hit up my other socials, and much love to you all. See you guys next video.